Hey guys, it's FallenDice, and welcome to episode 5 of FallenDice Plays Better Than BuildCraft. So, I promised that this next episode was going to be something other than my quarry and my refinery and all that kind of stuff. And I am sticking to that promise. But before we actually get on and do what we plan on doing today, turn all this stuff off, I'm going to show you that we destroyed, but we finished our quarry here. Um, Other than some spots where we had lava, which I tried pouring some water down, but I'm gonna have to continually do that, and I realized if I ever get to the point where I am short some research or resources, I can always come back in here, pick a crop, apart the sides, go down to the bottom, get a few more things down there. But we see bedrock at the bottom. I also had to rebuild this. I'm sitting here as I'd logged in. I went and watched the Super Bowl with some friends of ours. Come back and the mines are in the quarries all the way to the bottom. So I'm looking through to see how much stuff I got. And then as I look up, I see a creeper, and he's like right on me. And I take off running, hoping that I can pull him far enough away. But he took out this entire section here, which I rebuilt just for the sake of I wanted it, to show what I had gathered. And then when I go, as you can see, I've already got my new quarry lined out over there, but then I'm gonna move the stuff over there, probably design it a little bit better, but I'll just do that off camera and maybe just kind of show you, hey, this is what it looks like. But here's what we got. I never pulled anything out of here. I used other stuff that I had, so I got this in iron, 35 gold, which is good because I definitely need a lot of gold. I'm coming to the realization that it's more important and maybe even seems more rare than diamonds, but I definitely need gold. Iron for my soul forged steel. Diamonds at some point will become useless once I, build all my machines with them. I won't be using them for tools. I guess I can make armor, but I mean, even then I can have soul forged or the steel armor, so it's there. Got lots of slime balls from the bottom, and I already have some more forming again, so I can make lots of sticky pistons or use it for glue, being as it's a pain farming the glue. But yep, that's what I got. And see over here, I decided to make a bit bigger of a quarry this time. I actually had gone further that way, but there apparently is an extent to the distance you can make one of these, because I could not connect this until I got to this distance. So apparently this is as far as I can make it go. So we'll be clearing out all my chests over here. Probably throwing a lot of this away, setting up, and then I'm just gonna have this going because while this was being drained, I had the refinery working full blast, and as you can see, I'm still completely full on oil, and now I'm completely full on fuel, and that goes down. So I probably have like 6 of the storage tanks full of fuel, and the refinery's full, and the pipe's full, so I can pretty much just leave this all running now. My uh, using this infinite water source works perfect. I just have to use multiple of them because I can't use the gold pipe to make it go quicker. So anyway, that is that. So now it's time to do something a little more traditional BuildCraft. I mean, not BuildCraft, Minecraft, and that is like building structures or things of that nature. So this episode, other than what we just talked about here, is going to be completely uh, missing anything having to do with BuildCraft or Better Than Wolves. I am just going to start work on my new factory, and I think in them I'll probably be doing a bit of time lapsing in there on some of the building stuff, or I may just kind of work on it and pop in from time to time. So quickly before we get going, figured I would show you. Here is the new mine in operation. It is currently building the brackets around the mine. I decided to run all my piping underground. I just think it looks cooler. So that runs all the way back. I've got my new setup here I haven't put my stuff in here yet to divert, but I'm going to use these 3 pipes here for iron, diamond, and everything, because sometimes it would come in through too fast and it wouldn't be able to divert into where I wanted it to, so at least it'll catch all 3. And then the rest of my pipes are straight down, so I won't have to worry about things coming off and then filling up and just falling out and losing items. And then it just comes all the way around and back to here again. So should fill up pretty quick. And then one last thing is over here, I did a little of the automation here, or not the automation, the concealing as well. I ran my power from here underneath the ground, and then you can see I put the pumps underneath the intakes. So now when I flip this, I don't have to, it works, but I also don't have to jump over pipes when I'm running through here now. So that'll continually fill up my reservoir here. I can keep pumping, and the mine works. So right now I'm at full auto mode. I don't have to do anything whatsoever to mine, and as long as the game's playing, I will be mining now. So now that that's done, now I'm going to start building. So I promise, I really am going to build. I'm not just going to sit there and mine all day, but I just wanted to show off because I think it looks pretty cool. So, all right, let's go have some fun. All right, so we have the beginnings of my warehouse here. The design by this is you can kind of see over here with like the half slabs. The half slabs are going to go up in upside down triangles. The glass is going to kind of come up like this, come down like that, with the wood in the middle, whereas like the slabs go up like that. And then on the second floor, it's going to be kind of an inverse thing. I played around with this a little bit on my creative world, and the design looks really cool. I did it on a smaller scale than this, so we'll see how it all turns out this way. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of go around the outside of this, start filling it all in. I got plenty of logs. That tree mod that I have in here is so nice for gathering logs. And I think I'll put it in. I planted a solid grove of trees over there, and then I walked up with my axe. And by the way, the battle axe does not initiate it, which is really nice, because in doing something like this, if I had to go through and take out a log, I made the mistake when I just had the base out there. I hit one log and they all disappeared. Well, not disappeared, but they all got chopped. So I had to go back and do the foundation again. But if you use the battle axe, it doesn't do that. It only takes out one. So that makes it nice. I don't have to worry about trying to be careful or use something that's not meant to be used to take out the logs. So yeah. But anyway, so I'll put that in the video, or in this video. It's pretty cool. I hit one base of one tree, and this entire grove just instantaneously drops wood. It's pretty cool. Here's what we got so far. Again, as we get higher up, the pattern's gonna start to look better, especially on the second floor when the corner here is like the glass corner. I really liked how that looks. So we will just keep on working, and yeah, I think it's gonna look good when it's all done. It's gonna look nice. All right, there's the first wall. There's going to be 2 layers of just straight logs across this next area. That's for the floor and the roof. One thing that I do when I'm when I'm building, I always put at least 2 levels between floors. I think the tackiest, dumbest thing I ever see on Minecraft buildings and stuff is when people have glowstone on their floor because they use glowstone for their ceiling. It's tacky, it's ridiculous, and all it takes is 1 extra floor. The other reason why I prefer two two levels is when I'm decorating, especially with houses and stuff like that. I like to do color in the rooms, and that includes carpeting or flooring, or just to be able to do a different carpeting for each room of the floor. And if whatever you put on the floor also becomes a ceiling below you, it really limits what you can do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be 6 high on the first floor, and then the 7th block will be the ceiling, and of course where the ground is right now will be the floor. So there's going to be 6 blocks. So it's going to be a fairly tall room, and as you can see, very spacious. So I'll be able to do a lot of stuff here. And I don't know what I'm going to do on the first floor yet, because I think the first floor is going to be kind of like the welcome center, decorative. I want it to look nice, and before I get into like the major mechanics and machines and stuff, which I think will be going down on the bottom floor. Sorry about that phone call there. But as I was saying, um, I'll do my like my larger contraptions and my major automation down in like some of the sub levels and some of the things up top. The biggest thing I want to get away from is large amounts of noise in the basic area, or stuff going around. So I got plenty of time to decide how I'm going to decorate it. I just want to get the main building up so I can kind of start getting some ideas. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a plank ceiling in here, and I might just do like a plank floor too for now, just because I got plenty of the logs and stuff. And then if I want to change it later, I can change it later. So back to work. All right, so we definitely made some progress here. Over to the right there, or behind me, I put in a new nether portal, so I can now go back and forth between this base and the original base, and they're only like 20 paces away, so it's kind of cool. So nice little shortcut. But here we go. So far here's my first floor, and I've got the roof and ceiling in. When I get further along in this, I'll probably go do some nether runs, and I'm gonna end up hanging hanging some glowstone from the top here. And I may also decide to make the exterior of this inside part maybe like a tree farm or something like that, because it's kind of cool. At least until I come up with something better to put inside here. But lots and lots and lots of space down here. Like I said, now we got 2 rows here, so I can put the glowstone in up top if I want to, and you won't see it on the floor. So now it's time to put up the second story here, and again I'll cap that off at the top. First of all, I'm gonna have to go get some wood. So I'll show you how fun this is. Well, at least I'll show you until the number of logs and falling uh, trees here make it so my frames drop to nothing. But it's kind of fun. It takes me a little while to get through here because as this decay and the saplings drop, it really, the number of items on the screen start to increase. But a lot of them are only single trees, but every now and then you'll get to one of the giant trees and it'll take out multiple trees in one shot. So you can see there's already some of the gaps where the saplings despawn because of lack of light. But having the single hit or single log mod in here makes it so much easier to gather this resource. So anyway, I'm gonna go through, pick up all my wood, and then I'll go get started on the next levels. All right, so we finished up the second floor exterior, and I think it turned out really, really nice. Design is kind of cool. I had adjusted a little bit so it's got this over the door here, but the inverse, you know, the different styles and stuff, I think it looks cool. I'll go up to the other side so you can kind of get a look at it from a little bit more distance, but I definitely like how it looks and I like how it turned out. So I haven't done the roof yet, or I should say the ceiling for the top level. I still need to do that, but yeah, I like the design, and I think it'll look good at night once I got it lit up inside, you know, shining out the windows but not shining out the half slabs. So I'm gonna go ahead, gonna roof it up, put the top floor on. Later on I might add I shouldn't say top floor, but I'll put the roof over the top floor, and later on I can always add an extra floor as I go, and I can make this as tall as I really feel like it, you know, as I add to it. And then I think I am going to use my second floor for my automated farms. So I think as soon as I get the second floor capped, I'm going to go ahead and we'll come up with a nice idea for an automated wheat farm. Something so I can start, you know, getting a little bit more bread, some more food, because I'm running low. And when I need to breed animals, I'm going to need a lot of wheat anyway. So that's going to be an important part of my automation process. So yeah, I'll go ahead and cap the top, and I think I'll actually even put the floor in because I definitely have quite a bit of wood left over. So I'll put the top on, put the bottom floor on, and then we'll start on our wheat farm. So all right, getting excited, getting some large build projects going, and I'm kind of excited to see how it ends up turning out, how it ends up looking, because it should be should be pretty cool. So, all right, see you guys in a little bit. All right, so we got our roof and everything in, and I would like to put in a large wheat farm. So I'm looking at my spacing, trying to figure out how I want to do this. And I decided I'm gonna go with the stone bricks, or at least for now I am. We'll see if I like the way it looks after I, you know, kind of get it fleshed out a little bit. We'll see how it looks. But since I have 5 high here, what I may do is start it up at the 3rd level, and then kind of have it, you know, washed over, so it'll be 8 deep, kind of going across. But then with the by going down 3 levels, I can make the collection go 8 across, then 8, and then 8 down to the bottom, and then hopefully center it here. So that is my goal. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to use dirt since it's easier to clean up. And let's see, so that one would be the center. So then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I only need to go 2 high. Okay. Because then obviously, yeah, this goes away. And I don't need it to keep flowing all the way down to the bottom. If I want, you know, wanted one single water source on the end to take it all the way down, then I could go 7. But I just put one on each, one there and one there. Now, question is do I want to have like where it's going to drop down to the bottom? I may decide to go down or keep it up at this height so that I can actually use the floor part as well. So, let me think about this a little bit. Alright, so what we got so far, and I started out with this against the back, but then I realized I probably want to have access to it. Not to mention having this right up against the glass, it would make a much noticeable, more noticeable difference at night because there would be no light coming through this glass like the other areas. So by doing this, I can still put some light behind the logs or something, so it'll look similar to what's on the outside. So what I'm got going here now, it's like we got the two gaps up there. The wheat is going to be at this level, and it'll be at this level going out 8 blocks. So 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. All right. Directly behind that block, we'll have water, and we'll have pistons connected over to there. And actually, I'll have to go up one higher, but we'll work that part out here. But yeah, the gist being, when it's ready to harvest, and this isn't going to be a fully automated because those once I get the detector blocks and some of that kind of stuff, I can make like a couple of those, but they are more small yield. They don't take up a large amount of space. This one, I plant it all manually, and right now I'm using dirt. Once I'm able to automate my pottery system completely to where I don't have to be a part of it, I can set it up to mass produce vases, or not vases, but planters, and then I'll change this up to planters and just for the look of it. But for now, because it's only too high as well, I won't be able to jump, so there's no risk of trampling this at all, so I can just kind of walk around and do what I want. It will then, at this point, drop it down to about this level here, and then at this point it'll drop down another level, and then eventually it'll hit the floor right here in the middle, so it'll be a central collection point right here. And depending on how I do this, I may kind of wall this off so it's not even really seen. It'll kind of be its own little compact area with like a hallway or something to get to it when I need to harvest or plant. And that way I can kind of fit in some of my other items like my pumpkin farms and my melons and my sugar cane and that other stuff over there. And eventually probably even like an automated hemp farm as well. So, but like I said, I want this first because this I can use for breeding. And my next large building, which is right now where I have all my trees growing over here, I'm going to put all my animals over there just so I don't have to listen to them as I go up and down. So it'll be a separate building over there far enough away to keep it kind of quiet in my main work area. So, alright, I'm going to think a little bit more about this and start working some more on this. Okay, so here's what we got so far. This here, if I can get up and over, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually it's that's too far because the water's over here, so it's already technically I guess I can only go 6 here. Well, then I'll have to go back and shorten it, but this is proof of concept here. So we got the pistons up here using the vertical wiring coming down. And we'll come back here, and maybe what I'll do is I'll keep it that way just so I can drop it down, make my collection point down a little lower. I'll look into it. But basically, so what have we got going is we've got the pressure plate over there, and the block that it's attached to, we have a redstone torch, and that's activating this redstone coming all the way over here and going into these. Like I said, then we got our vertical wiring going up, so that if we step on this pressure plate, we'll First, you can hear the pistons going. Let's see, let's get up high enough so we can see this. Whoops. Alright, so we can see it over there. So then we'll just kind of throw some watermelons down there. Should be able to land on top of it. There we go. And as you can see, as soon as the pressure plate's activated, lifts up the pistons, that'll release the water, send all of our crops down. So basically, you just walk over here, stand on the plate, it'll release the water, and all of the plants should come down to here. Alright, and obviously we're a little ahead of prettification yet, but just to show you kind of what my idea for this is going to be. So it'll be at too high, and I'll drop it down, and I may have to use a button as opposed to a pressure plate, but go over here to dirt. See the activation of the pressure plate, or with the switch and a T flip-flop, which is what I'll probably end up having to use. Well, there we go. So it opens it up, drops it. It's 8 deep, so I'll be able to go 8 all the way across, and I think it's going to end up being like 256 squares that I can plant on. So about 4 stacks. So that should be pretty nice. Actually, I didn't have to change anything. So yeah, well, let's do this just to demonstrate here. We'll throw up a bunch of items out here to get washed down to me. Alright, so there we go. They're up there. The pressure plate is right where it was before. So now I just kind of walk down here, step on the pressure plate. It'll release my water, which will start sending all of my goods over the edge. And then they'll bring them right down to me. Here, that silk touch may be coming back for ice. And if that's the case, then this is going to happen so much quicker. Once the stuff gets over the edge, it'll slide straight down to me. But there we go. Alright, so we're not quite done yet, but you know, if you're going to do something, do it big. So I realize that why do what I'm doing when I could double it? So I'm now in the process of doing the second half. I already got the backside done, and I think I'm going to do this more often. When I'm got areas with water, I like the fact that I now have an easy access back to here. But this one is fully functioning. If I come back here, and actually all the pistons are functioning. If I come back here and stand up, you'll hear them. You can see those came up, but here comes the water. Stops there, but drops all the goodies. I'll have the water over there and over there. So this actually is working out really, really well. It's definitely going to lag my computer out. But, yeah, sometimes you just got to deal with stuff. So, I think this was the only area where I ended up losing out. And I probably could drop down one level here. And then just I'd have to step up to get to here, but I don't think it's a big deal to have the ones. So, you know, it'll be like 3 pads, but there will be so much wheat here that every time I step on that, I will have no problem keeping up with my my breeding program. I got holes everywhere. Definitely have to make sure I fix everything before I activate all the stuff. I'd hate to lose all my redstone. That can be so frustrating. So anyway, that's just a peek at where I am right now. So I will be back again once I've got it all buttoned up and ready to go, and we'll plant some wheat, throw some bone meal on top just to simulate and get our first harvest. Alright, we got experiment time here. Like everything else I've done so far here on this new series, I always forget the simple things, like hydration. So, you know, of course I start tilling my soil and it just instantly goes back to dirt. So, it needs to be 4 blocks away from water source. So 4 diagonal or 4 straight across. So I only needed to put in 4 water blocks in each side of this. I'll probably straighten that up once I figure out which way's which. But I was curious as to which one would cause me to lose the most wheat, because either falling down in the water hole here or is it just going to go flying or right across, or will it get blocked behind the block here? So this is my experiment time. I'm going to go down, stand on it, wait for the grain to come, see if any grain comes, and then when I'm done I'll come back up here and I'll look and see what's caught behind the block and what's inside there, just to kind of get an idea for which one of these will work the best, and then we'll just go with that. I mean, I'm okay with losing some wheat here, just because the yield of my setup that I have here is pretty good. So I think even with losing a little bit to each one of these holes, I'll still make way more than I ever need. And then I just got to kind of, keep filling it. Every time I use it, just make sure I go up and go through what will be a pain in the butt, but to, replant everything. So without further ado, let's go ahead and stand down this thing and see what happens. Interesting that I'm not seeing all the water over here. Alright, I'm going to step off, let the wheat collect on it, which will reactivate it, and I'm going to head up top and see what is causing my issue. I'm hoping that I didn't mess up when I was putting my, That's odd. Oh, is it because of the water? Alright, so it looks like that answered my question for me. It does catch some back there, but looks like having just a hole with water causes it to actually stop moving. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Alright, so here we are. Here is our first full harvest. I wasn't able to completely fill everything. I ended up running out of seeds, which is ironic, as I thought I had so many seeds that I would never need them, and ended up throwing away a large amount of them over time. So after this one harvest, though, I will have more than enough to replant the full thing. So here we go. Let's go ahead and got pretty much an empty inventory, so we'll see how much seeds we get out of this. While we're waiting for this, I guess we'll say thank you again for watching this. I've been getting quite a few comments lately, and I really enjoy the comments. I've also been getting some just some actual messages with tips and advice, which again I also really enjoy. People pointing out a few things that I hadn't known about the mod, and then just basic advice for videos and the like. So I do appreciate that. So as always, if you leave me a comment, I promise to respond. Also, if you enjoyed this, please give this a like. Give people that you know a chance to see that you like this video, and maybe they'll give it a check out. And plus, just letting me know that you enjoy this. I enjoy making these, and the more you enjoy it, the more it makes me want to make more and keep on doing this. So, and then finally, of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I've been lately probably putting out at least a couple of these a week, maybe even more depending. But yeah, subscribe. That way you can be notified whenever I have a new video come out. And that, I think we'll call it an episode here. So once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.